Bryan George Safi.
Ronna,
Safi.
are you kidding me? You,
I've come all the way. Well, you've been calling me Rhonda for quite
you
some
know
time
what?
now.
I can't, I have no more defense left. The defense rests. You're right. You're right.
But I don't even. I have to tell you, we did our show 3 days ago.
I am
4 days ago.
still
I'm still
riding that wave.
tingling.
It was unbelievable. I'm going to be honest. It was an unbelievable show. It really was. Rana,
Am I
you were
wrong? Was it
firing on all.
terrific?
It was terrific. I loved it. Anyone I talked to after that who said, "How did it go?" And as a performer, you're always like, I could have done this, I could have done that, da da da. And I was like, it was amazing. It was amazing.
I hate to tell you, I said the same
I had
thing.
the
I never give
best
a
time.
compliment to anything. If anything, I would normally just say, Bryan was incredible. There were a few things I would have done
It was
differently,
okay. We did
that
it.
sort of thing.
It was
I
amazing.
said it was terrific. And I said it felt great to be back in the pants,
In the pants?
in those
Oh, your
pants,
leathers.
because I have not stood on stage in my leathers in a couple of years. And
I
it
gotta say,
just
Rana, you
felt
wore
great to
your
be back in
leathers.
those pants. It
You
did.
looked phenomenal.
Well,
You looked
I forgot, but
phenomenal.
there was so many things I forgot to do. I forgot to talk about I forgot to point out my incredible belt, which had
Wait, what was to point out?
the carriage house leopard right on it.
It spoke for
Excuse me.
itself.
I forgot to point out all the people in the audience who were wearing leopard. And the next time we do this, what I loved was they did it themselves. It was a call to action. They showed up in their animal
That
prints,
was such a surprise. How many
in their
people in the
fruit
audience were in leopard?
t-shirts,
People wore fruit t-shirts.
an Almies t-shirt.
It
I mean,
felt like a gathering.
it did, and
It felt
everyone
like Super Soul Sunday.
like Magic the Gathering. It did feel like Super Soul Sunday. I hate to say it. There was a bit of a tent revival
There
meeting
was.
element to it.
There was.
And a couple of people said to me that they loved the way that, so we started with, and I have to say, I'm totally disappointed. I'm both totally disappointed that we didn't stream it for people, and
I know.
also sort of love the fact that it was this ephemeral Brigadoon-esque. Did it
Did it
happen? It
happen?
didn't. Did it happen in a clearing in South Boston? It didn't.
Yep.
And we have to say such an incredible, deep, heartfelt thank you to Kevin at the theater and his incredible crew. When I tell you that when we were teching on Saturday afternoon and we needed somewhere to put our prizes, which next time around I would
Oh,
work on the presentation a little bit better. But they had a bar. They brought out a bar for us and they said, well, you could use this. And I said, well, I could, but it's got a huge scratch on the front of it and a big mock up top. And they
this
said,
was unbelievable.
well, that's okay. We'll just paint it.
We'll repaint it.
I said, the show's in 4 hours. They said,
Right.
it's okay. We'll just paint it. They came out with a
It looks brand new.
sparkling,
I want them to do my kitchen.
they honestly give them 3 hours. It'll be done.
I know.
What were your favorite moments? What would you change? What did you love?
I got to
My
tell you,
my cousin who came, who knew nothing, wrote to me and said the feeling of being in the audience amongst all of these people. She'd never once listened to the show. She said it was so incredible, and she could have listened to it for hours.
I got to say, there were no lowlights for me. I really mean that. I would say that some of my highlights really people. So what we do in the show, in case we ever do one again, which I'm sure we will, maybe even soon ish. And was I liked how armed people came with good questions. Even the ones that weren't good were hilarious. And so I really appreciated that. It was so fun in real time just to like have the conversations with the audience, riff with the audience. It was just so fun. There were no lowlights for me. The
It
Carriage House
was.
confessionals, that was so
Oh, we did
fun.
a new thing called Carriage House Confessionals, which was so fun. We did, well, we had so many Easter eggs, which I'm a
Yes.
little bit disappointed we didn't take pictures of. But for instance, I mean, do we give them away? Do we let people? I guess because it won't apply the next time. But for instance, in the lobby when they came, we had bowls of Halloween candy because it's spooky season, and you know I love spooky season.
With the notice from Marblehead.
With notices from the Marblehead Police Department, which I personally walked in the other day and said, I need to walk out of here with this and I need it signed. And it said, by
Unbelievable.
order of the Marblehead Police Department, please take one
Yep.
in front of the candy bowls. The merch table, there is not, I mean, the merch flew off the shelves. The t shirts were
The
incredible.
t-shirts are fantastic.
We had
It's true Tina Turner realness.
a couple that I held back, which I will be sending to a couple of key people. I'll just say there were people that donated their tickets. Liz Beckett, Anthena Pena, they had meet and greet tickets and they donated them. They didn't even
Wow.
contact the box office and say, "Can I get these back?" Or can I resell them or whatever they said. Give these to somebody who wants them and needs them.
Ugh.
The meet and greet was incredible. There were all these uh, people I'll call lurkers, people that we didn't know. They're not vocal in the carriage house, but they've been listening for ages.
Yes.
Spence, remember
Of
Spence?
course.
There were people that flew in from, pardon me, San Diego in his MS scarf.
Portland.
Portland,
Hmm.
pardon me, with Barrett, and I have to say this out. Look at me, I'm getting so excited. Barrett Fehrenbach, who we know is my nemesis because she posted her Boston
She
listed
is so
Rex.
fun though. She is a blast.
She brought the McRae's uh, saltwater caramels. Did you try them yet?
Are you kidding?
The Cape Cod sea salt caramel is amongst the best I've ever had. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
The She brought her sister, and it turned out her sister was the one who had introduced her to the show, not
You
the
know,
other way
sometimes
around.
it always is. It's the more beta one who's like, oh,
Mhm.
yes, I introduced them to the
And
show.
then
And
the
then
other one steals it, and you know the whole dynamic.
absolutely. Yep.
Susie from Cohasset came with her Alessi sweat jacket she wanted to show me. It was
Yes.
vapid. She brought, they had a real
Which, by the
boozy
way,
night
was
out.
chic as hell. It looked so good. Julia came from LA.
Of course, Julia came from LA and had a full, she took the newsletter very seriously. She stayed at the
Sh
Newbury.
Yep.
I happen to know, made a few purchases of the newsletter, pardon me,
Excuse me.
and had an incredible, she was at Contessa for breakfast. I ran into her there.
You did?
I ran into the cutest anesthesiologist who wasn't Maddie Heron.
I
Excuse
was going
me.
to say, are you talking about Maddie, who we
We have
finally met?
two top anesthesiologists that are listening to the
I
show.
don't believe that Maddie really talks with that accent. I do think
He
it's all
he's an app
it's Rockefeller, Ronna. Who is it? Clock
Clock
Rockefeller?
Rockefeller. Oh no, he's an absolute cartoon character.
I
There's
love
no
him.
question about
I
it.
love him even more than I thought I would.
He is the definition of a maneuver.
Yes.
And what else? The only thing I wanted to say, and I want to say this loud and clear, and I want Tony to help me with this. The woman who worked at Rosie's place
Yes.
with the pink hair who was in the front
And
row.
that gorgeous Bob Mackie jacket.
The idea that in the fog of war that I gave the fortune cookie to the woman who could afford a babysitter and was complaining about her babysitter and didn't give it to the woman whose husband was offering to take work off just so that she could work and do the thing that she loved to do is an absolute scandal. And I want her to identify herself and write to askron@gmail.com. And I will send her personally out of my own personal pocket a fortune cookie of her very own.
Why don't you just give her a discount on the fortune cookie instead of paying for it?
But it's not, I just said it wasn't going to come out of your money.
No, I know, but still, just for you.
You
Maybe give her
don't,
like a half off deal.
you're worried I'm going to garnish your wages. So.
Yes.
And then there was someone else who I felt strongly really deserved the little. Who did we give the Lalabo to? Philly, the guy
Who
told to
did
sit
that?
down. We gave it to Philly.
David? Did we give it to David?
David from Philly, who was moving back to Boston.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's who we get. But he honestly, Ronna, he had really nice manners.
He did.
He was up to be he was totally okay with being ribbed. He was the first question asker.
Yeah,
I
he was
actually think
fun.
he really deserved it. Yeah, he
And
was
then
great.
Four to a Bed was there.
Four to a
That was
bed. And we have
more
an
than I could
update.
handle.
Four to a bed, I believe, is not four to a bed anymore.
They're just two to a bed
I
now.
think they're just two to a bed,
Yeah.
which
Oh
must have been a
God.
huge adjustment period.
It was
We do
just
one of the questions I'll never forget, and it was at the time it was jaw dropping in its simplicity. Someone asked how to cash a check.
oh,
Someone literally,
that
it
was a
is one
tough
of my
moment.
favorite things I've ever
It
heard in
was a
my life.
tough moment.
I couldn't
And
believe it.
people were screaming out in the audience saying, it says on the check how long it's good for.
Oh, she wanted to know how long a check was
Yeah,
good
how
for
long a
before
check.
you
And
had
she
to
was
cash it.
asking us how long a check was good for.
And by the way, this was after Ronna said, we want provocative questions. We want
Yeah,
dramatic questions. We want
those are the
ones that really pop.
moments.
She shot her hand up and said, how long do I have before
Someone
I
gave me a
can't
big
cash a
check.
check?
How long can I cash it for?
I loved her.
Get
That was one of my
out of
favorite things
here.
that night.
The biggest shocker
Oh no, I know
was the
what you're going to
girl that
say.
was giving free blowjobs to anyone who would listen. And we thought for sure. So we did a new thing called Carriage House Confessionals, where we had a little note card in the lobby. And people could pick a question they wanted to answer and give a very short, anonymous question answer to it. And one, I can't remember, it was like, what was the worst decision you ever made? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Anyway, somebody said they went on a date and that they ended up giving someone a guy who had a white van and a baby seat in the back, and they ended up giving him a blowjob. And we were all certain, of course, that this was a fruit that had written this question.
And it wasn't.
And and then we said, whoever this is, if you want to come forward, we're going to give you. We gave
Because the
them the
Carriage House
showstopper
confessionals are
cookies.
anonymous.
And we said, if
And
you
so we
want to
said
reveal
if you'll
yourself,
get a prize if you want to reveal yourself, but obviously you do not have to.
no.
She before we finished the sentence, Rona, she shut up. She came to the stage. She took my microphone.
She tripped on my 91-year-old relation who was on the end of the row. I
Did
mean,
she
she was,
really?
no, she absolutely barreled through.
She was fun. She was
And
a
she
star.
went home with, well, she was crying.
She was.
Yeah, you didn't catch that. She came up to the front and she said her life was in shambles.
She didn't know
And then
she was
so I
crying.
had to,
Poor
that's why I had to
thing.
give her the cookies.
Poor
But she
thing.
was a good sport.
Yeah,
She was a very good sport.
she's
Anyway,
very
here we
cute.
are recounting the whole show, but it was absolutely terrific.
I loved it.
And we had a blast, and we cannot thank Kevin and the people at the Calderwood enough.
We
And
cannot thank.
Connor was there, and we sold the cocktail picks. We sold out the Kintos.
Yeah.
The t-shirts were incredible. I wore my shirt out to the bar afterwards
Why wouldn't you?
because it was so cozy. The
Yeah.
t-shirts are nice quality,
Yeah.
and they looked incredible. We
I
have
gotta
to
say,
thank,
Ronna, you in that t-shirt with your Kelly bag or whatever that was, hilarious.
and I have to thank. Don't bring up the Kelly bag for me. I'm feeling very sensitive right now
Oh.
because a lot of people were at the MS show this week, and I was not able to make it because of our show. And I feel
Ronna,
very.
you picked our show over the Hermes show?
Julia
That's
Louis
so nice.
Dreyfus was there.
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn was there.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll was there. Lily Kwong was there.
Does the
I mean,
designer at Hermes love comedians?
Aya was there. She must.
Yeah.
She must.
That's exciting.
And we have to do a special shout out to Beantown USA. They did our shirts.
Hi, Beantown.
And they do a bunch of other things too, but they did a beautiful job and they did it fast. Ed at Beantown, we have to say, shout out to.
Not to mention, can we talk about Tony for a second?
Tony Manna. Go ahead. You say it, Bryan. And Nick, we have to talk about Nick. What about our projections? That's a Tony nominated projectionist, visual artist did those for us.
Tony
Think of a
Manna
song.
really conceived so much of the show,
Yes.
including the opening number that I cannot get out of my head. If you enjoyed that opening number, you have Tony to thank. He's just the best. He's a genius.
Could you sing a few bars for us?
Out there's a world outside of Marblehead. Way out there beyond that hick town, Tony. There's a slick town, Tony.
It was absolutely incredible. Your moves were unbelievable. Your
Ronna,
stage picture. I was worried.
I
'cause
learned
I'm
a thing or two from
smiling.
those Norwegian clowns.
I was smiling the whole time and I was worried I wasn't paying attention to the show.
You made me laugh so hard on that stage.
You were I mean, really, we had a lot of fun and a
Oh, it
lot
was
of it was
so
a lot
fucking
of good
fun.
ribbing and a lot of good
It
jokes.
was so fun. So rarely do I come off stage and say about something that I've done. Like we said before, to sort of circle back, like I'm comfortable saying you were amazing because you were, but very rarely am I like, we were that was an amazing show I just took part of. It just never happens because you're just so self-critical. And this was just so beyond reproach incredible.
I mean, we just you know what it was? We had a blast and I was
It
a
was a
little bit nervous.
blast.
And I have to say a shout out to my glam team, Raul and Juliet, who were incredible.
They were wonderful.
Uh
Ronna, you're so funny when you're nervous, I have to be honest.
Tell me about it.
Because I'll tell you, because A, you can be a little bit, you're unshakable in many ways,
Unflappable.
unflappable, I guess is the word. And it's just funny to see you nervous because, like, I know how hard you're going to murder when you're up there. And so it's funny to see you nervous about the show because I'm like, what is she even? It's so funny to see her go through this because, like, it's not going to come to bear. Like,
Well,
it's going to go so well.
it all goes back to you. Okay, so the social club, the holidays, these
Mm,
things, you know, Ronica, these things that we do. Maybe it feels effortless to people, maybe it doesn't. I hope it feels effortless, but so much thought goes in. We have so much respect for our community.
yeah.
And there was such an incredible feeling being in that room.
Yeah.
And we want to deliver for them. We feel that there is a standard that they deserve. And
Mhm.
what didn't even occur to me, Bryan, until after the fact, was that was our North American debut.
Isn't that wild? We've only performed in London.
I had forgotten that we hadn't even done a show in
I didn't know until
America,
you just said it.
which is unbelievable.
Pretty wild.
And so, in any event, I just felt the weight of that. But then the other thing that relaxed me when I started to think about it was we do this thing every week.
Yeah.
If all we did was go up there and sit down and say, how was your day?
That's
How
the
was
thing.
your
It
day?
it was a show. It wasn't even a podcast.
It was really an evening with
It
Ronna and
was.
Bryan. It
It
really
was.
was not just the live podcast. It was an
No,
evening with Ronna and Bryan,
that's right.
which I realized after the fact.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts.
But it was incredible. And I can't say enough to the people that made it happen. Absolutely incredible.
I loved it. I
Are we
really
done
loved it.
talking about ourselves now? Anyway, watch this space. Who knows?
I know.
We might be addicted now.
It's so
What
true.
cities do you think we could sell out? Because I'm only interested in sellouts.
I think all the good ones. Not good ones, but all the big ones.
Dubai?
You never know. You never know, Rana. I don't know
Riyadh?
what's
Do you think we could sell out
I don't know. I think Riyadh would have some handcuffs
question
waiting for
mark? You
us
think
off
there's
the
a question
stage.
mark in
I
Riyadh?
think I have a feeling neither one of us would be particularly safe in Riyadh.
uh,
No, I
that's
mean New York, Chicago, LA,
Detroit. Not Detroit. DC.
DC for
Do we have
sure.
enough of a contingent down there? Do you think?
Yes, I think we do. Seattle,
Interesting.
Portland, or one of those, or
Oh, I
both of
don't know about
those.
Seattle. Do we have people up there? I guess we have people in the Portland area.
I think so.
But Portland's sort of a comedy town.
Yeah.
They like to come out and see things.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we never look at our demographics, Tony. Let's do that. In any event, didn't stop us from doing a show in London.
Oh, we also want to thank shows. Oh, yes, Showstoppers in Portland. They're based in
Showstoppers in
Portland.
Portland, yeah.
So we could leave a cookie for everyone who comes.
We could, and they'd be fresh
That's right.
right out of the oven.
That's
We
right.
have, and my joke was that that was the showstopper.com arena for the night.
100%.
That
100%.
was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Should we get back now? Now, one thing I'll say is that I did not feel that the questions were really any good. I had a very opposite feeling about them.
Really? I loved them.
And I also the young man who wanted to go to Pittsburgh, I wished that I had said to him, because he said that he was in love with someone in Pittsburgh. That's what I'll say. People that were there will know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to, give too
Oh,
many
yes.
details.
We actually had very different advice for this.
We did, but something that I wish that I had said to him is, what are you hoping to find in Pittsburgh? Because he used the words, now I'm in love with, I've been corresponding with a person I've never met. And now I'm in love with them.
Mhm.
And so this concept of being in love with someone you've never met, it's really not an actionable thing. In other words, when you've never met a person, you can really only be infatuated with them. You can't actually be, you can be enamored, you can be
This is what I
infatuated,
was saying.
but you
You
can't
you want to
really be
kill
in
the vibe,
love.
you go meet him. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have to ask yourself, what do you think you're going to find there? And if it's a rendezvous you're looking for, that's one
A
thing.
rendezvous.
But what I really wish is in these moments, a rendezvous, what I really wish is in these moments that the person on the other side who receives you with like, I want you to imagine that they receive you with a sink full of dirty dishes. That when you get to their house, you ring the doorbell and they just say, it's open. And
There's
then
no way
you
it will
come
live
in,
up. Yeah.
they're doing the dishes with gloves on. And they say, before you take your shoes off, would you mind taking the trash out? And then you introduce yourself. And then you tell me how much sex you want to have with that person after you understand what it is to live a life with them.
100%. Not to, I guarantee you the chemistry just will not remain the same. It just never does.
But if you want to go have a romp, I mean, look, who am I to stop you?
Romp away.
Yeah. Have a romp con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RompCon.
Yeah. Romp con. Yeah,
We need to go to
we
RompCon.
need to start a trade show called RompCon, and
RompCon.
that's where all these people come together, and we create like
We tell them if they're in love or
scenarios,
in lust.
and but we create vignettes that they can meet up in. So in their
That's nice.
mind, kind of in like when Revenge of the Nerds, when she says, "Let you want to do it on the moon," and they go into the bounce house, so
Such good
whatever.
lines in there.
But that we basically say, okay, you've got 12 scenarios. You can meet up in fake Paris. You can meet up in fake,
A fake kitchen where you take the
it's
trash
like
out.
the Madonna in meets the Bunny Ranch.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I can't wait to be responsible for the cleaning crew.
I was about to say, I hope there's not going to be too much like Madonna plush velvet fabric in there because
Oh,
that stains don't come out of that, I imagine.
good gravy.
Yeah.
No, everything will be Scotch guarded.
Oh,
Everything
good.
will be
Oh,
Scotch
good.
guarded.
Good.
Why is it Prime Day?
Why isn't it?
But isn't Prime Day Thanksgiving?
No, I think they have a couple of Prime days throughout the year.
So they're having it a month before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll also do a Cyber Monday.
Hmm. Okay. In any event, shall we?
Let's shall.
So these questions I think we're going to do today, maybe all of them, maybe not. Um, Things that people wrote in that they did not get a chance. That we asked people to send questions and then we didn't end up, which I deeply regret, reading them
I
on
loved the
stage because the
questions.
questions was so goddamn boring that
I
I
loved
should have
them.
gone to the deck, but
I
I
can't
didn't.
believe you thought they were boring, Ronna. They were absolutely insane.
What about the girl and her mother-in-law? That was my favorite question.
That was so funny.
That was
She wanted
that
to
was
know what to
fun.
do about her cold mother-in-law, and you were basically like, lucky you that your mother-in-law doesn't want to
Yeah,
talk to you.
she doesn't want to name your baby for you. Congratulations.
Right. She's just
Yeah.
no interest in moving in with you. Perfect.
Not trying to tell you how to keep a house
Yeah.
or cook for her son or anything like that. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yep.
I loved our crowd and I loved that it was in Boston. And I would
So
do a
fun.
show again there in a
In a
heartbeat
minute. In a
if we
minute.
thought anyone would come again.
And in a second.
Okay. Shall we? And do we have any, and I'm not seeing enough people, but why didn't anybody post video? Were they not allowed to shoot video?
I think
Just
people
pictures?
generally feel like they're not allowed to shoot video.
Oh, well, if you got video, post it.
If you
If you
got it,
got
flaunt
pictures of
it.
yourself in the t-shirt or any of the merch that you got, please
Marriage.
post it.
Please.
And everyone was saying that you and Connor were 10 times more handsome in person than they ever could have dreamed,
I'll
which
be
was,
honest, I could have
of
looked
course,
better that
true.
night. I wasn't thrilled with how I looked, but thank you.
What didn't you like?
I think it was the bags under my eyes.
You're insane. You looked absolutely fabulous.
Next time, I'm not going to bring those bags.
Oh yeah. Well, leave him at the hotel.
Yeah,
You know.
next time I'll leave him at the
Yeah.
hotel.
Next time, leave him at the hotel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, in any event, it was an absolute
It
blast.
was a blast.
And what about the dinner that we had the night before?
Contessa,
We had dinner
what
with
a
Contessa,
gorgeous night.
but more importantly, we had, speaking of Super Soul
So I was
Sunday,
about to say it was very super soul. We had a
we
hot to
had
hot like we haven't had in a while, Rana.
such a meeting of the hearts and minds.
It's so true. It's
Now,
so true.
has anybody written in to say if they like the show or not?
Yeah,
Do
of
we have any
course. You want to read
comments?
some
Yeah,
comments? Here
let's
we
read a
go.
few comments.
Okay, yeah, we got a ton. Okay, original J Doc says I absolutely loved every second of it. I've been recapping the advice to my friends since the show. Admittedly, the best part was being told I outronned, quickly followed by Brian's answer of how to get on the private client list. Oh, of course, this was San Diego.
Yes.
Neon Peon said, a wonderful evening. Thanks for the purse chair recommendation. And remember when all those purses ended up on the
Oh,
chair?
well, that was hysterical.
That
I
was very
mean,
funny.
I explained to people that I often buy a buffer seat. I mean, and it, really in any at any event, I'll buy four seats. And in case Kai is listening, who by the way was there from the Newbury, I did book the table for four, thinking we could expand to four if we wanted to. You can always reduce to two.
Oh, were you scared?
Not because I was just trying to secure a booth.
No, that's true. That is true. Kai,
But uh, I will often buy, if I go to the movies, I'll buy three seats instead of two seats because then I
you
don't
need a
have to sit
buffer.
next to anybody
And
and I
also,
can
you've
put my
mentioned before
purse
that
there.
putting your purse on the floor. Rana said putting your purse on the floor is bad luck. Always put it in a chair. When I tell you, purses flew from the ground into the air and then into chairs. Everyone picked up their purse and put it in a chair.
It's a Jamaican proverb,
Well, listen,
apparently.
Katie M. Higgins. Oh no, I missed one. Neon Peon said, thanks for the purse recommendation. And I gasped when Four in a Bed revealed himself. The highlight, of course, was snagging Brian Safi's John Hancock on a hot pink post-it note. Ron, I signed a couple post-it notes.
I didn't know that till after the fact.
I didn't think you'd like it.
I just Googled it, by the way.
My
Uh,
signature?
no, sweetheart.
Oh,
This next Jamaican superstition advises against putting your handbag or wallet on the floor. It suggests that doing so might lead to financial
well,
misfortune.
that's right. Yes.
Most Jamaicans may have heard this well known superstition at least once before.
Makes sense to me.
Mhm.
Katie M. Higgins says, seeing your gorgeous selves live and in person, watching Brian manage a verbose audience participant with humor and grace. The true beauty was seeing how Rana and Brian's capacity for empathy and understanding is an immediate gift they both give to our community. It was such a great night. 5 stars only. Thank you, Katie.
Wow.
Carrie in the city says Ron is growing exasperation
Oh,
for the
yeah.
not exciting questions. And then she did like a laughing till you cry emoji. And Brian's intro song, 5 stars only. So fun. And I think I converted the boyfriend into being a listener by playing past episodes for the entire drive from New York to prepare him for the show. Wow. I love when I hear that any straight guy is listening to this.
I am going to read the next two because this
Do
was,
it.
I forgot to mention this, and it was 100% a highlight from the show.
Mhm.
Maddie Heron, excuse me,
Ah,
said Brian singing off White Van BJ Woman was a highlight for sure.
BJ woman.
We didn't have like Oscar music. So when a question was getting too long, Brian started humming off and singing his opening number. It was so hysterical. It was so funny. Amber Tarazi was there. She said the opening number was incredible. And Ronna was right when she said that both Brian and Connor are even better looking in person.
Look at that.
Now,
Look at
now
that.
I have one more to read, and I'm going to say I have a problem now. Okay. This is from James Nasby.
Yeah, according to you, this was a misstep of Tony's. According to me, it was the right thing to do, Tony.
Which the big get?
Yeah.
All the wit, empathy, and joie de vivre I expected, plus Connor manhandling a baguette. Tony, I don't know where Tony was, CVS. He found
I think
something
he literally got it at like CV.
called an emotional support baguette.
Five
And it
Below.
was
He got this at Five Below. What
What's
is that again?
five?
Is that a liquor store?
What's Five Below?
I've seen the signs. I never know. Oh, it's a dollar store. Even
Well,
better
well,
to bring a dollar store baguette plush to ask Ronna
and
live and to put it on the prize table was such a bold move. And Tony, I was here for it.
which reminds me, by the way, one of my prizes went missing. Tony, did you ever figure out? I brought a few things from the duty free at the airport, and one of them was a Nutella flight.
We
It
didn't give it
was
away.
it never ended up on the table. Tony never found it. It went missing.
Missing?
5 mini Nutellas. That
Well,
was
I
really
hope
a
that
hot that
every
was a hot
single
ticket
person
item.
on that crew at the theater enjoyed a mini Nutella that night. I mean
Here's
it. They deserved it.
here's what I want to say. James Nasman,
James.
who on the AR Social Club I have once or twice accused of being 5'2". I just thought
Yeah, it's so funny that you thought
I
that.
just thought he was a tiny person with a big head. Thought he was like a lollipop
He's like
person.
6'2".
He is not just 6'2". He is one of the best looking people I have ever seen in person.
And you know what? Could live in any era.
100%. When he started walking towards me, he was wearing a sport coat
He
and
was wearing a
jeans and a
sport coat.
shirt.
Yes.
It was like Tom Selleck from the Magnum era
It was very
was
like
coming towards me.
J. Crew 80s, 90s. But I mean, by the
Yes.
way, I mean that as you looked classic.
He's a male model.
Yes.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
It was so fun to hug him.
It was.
It felt
And
like I was
he's
meeting a celebrity.
and what a wonderful, darling, empathetic person. And before I forget, our other superstar, Daniel Nolan, left flowers for us backstage. He was in Boston
Oh,
2 days before, and he left flowers for us backstage.
so nice, Daniel.
That's what I'm going to say about that. Okay,
That's a real good guy.
let's move on to some questions, shall we?
Uh,
And thank you for humoring us while we just talked about ourselves all day long.
Dear Ronna and Bryan, with a Y, because of course,
Of course.
I love you both, and I'm thrilled to be seeing you live in Boston. Here's my problem in one sentence. I don't drink anymore, but as the host, I keep getting wine as a host gift. A bit of background. I'm a fruit from the South Shore. Is it Situate? Is that how you say this?
Yeah,
Situate, to be exact.
it's right near where Connor's from.
Oh. I used to be a very big drinker, but I'm sober now for 2.5 years. My close friends know, but acquaintances still waltz into my house with bottles of wine like they're auditioning for the Real Housewives of Hingham.
Hmm.
For example, one guest brought me champagne, quote, for the party, and I ended up hiding it under the sink. Another proudly handed me Sauvignon Blanc while I was literally holding a can of Spindrift sparkling water.
This
Makes
is
me feel
very,
awkward.
very Boston.
Really?
Well, just like, I mean, you drink, you don't drink. I mean, okay, but you don't drink ever.
I see. I see.
It's very yokely.
Right.
Just the idea that, well, I thought you meant you only drink beer.
Right.
Yeah. When you say you don't drink, I thought you meant like you don't drink vodka, you don't drink the hard stuff.
No, it's like when my grandmother would
Yeah.
say, "You don't eat meat." Well, it's chicken. Okay. It makes me feel awkward. I want to be gracious, but I don't want to launch into my entire drinking memoir every time someone hands me a corkscrew. I'm saving all the good stuff for the book. So my question is, do I just smile and accept it gracefully, or is there a chic way to redirect people toward flowers or anything else without oversharing? Am I overthinking this? Thank you both. You're the best part of my week. And unlike a host gift, I'll never re-gift you. With love, Bobby. And there's a follow-up. Oh, this person came to the Boston show, said it was absolutely fantastic. The audience questions were a riot, and it was such a thrill to see you both live. And then he attached a picture.
So cute.
So cute. Bobby from Situate. So cute.
And guess what? Our poster looks incredible. I hate to tell you.
Incredible.
Right behind you.
Incredible. They did such a nice job at that place.
Gosh, you look handsome in those pictures.
You look fantastic, Ronna.
Jay took those. Jay Brooks photo. We had that photo shoot when we were in London.
We did, right in
Yeah.
the ham yard.
Hamyard Hotel.
Mhm.
Uh okay. What do you think, Bryan? I want to know. I want to know what you think about this. So he's saying his close friends don't bring him booze, but but acquaintances don't really know.
Well, I would say for me, I mean, listen, this is how maybe I would feel about it. if people are coming over for a party, other people might drink it. Maybe they're bringing it for the party. But if it bothers you, and it sounds like it does, and you don't know what to do with the alcohol afterward, I frankly think, um, because this has happened to me at parties, by the way, where the host has said, "You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I don't drink, but I appreciate the thought." Something like that. And
Right.
that's it. And I don't know what I did after that. I guess I took the alcohol back home with me, maybe gave it to a friend. I don't know, but
Yeah, you probably just add, I would hate for it to go to waste. So why don't you take it home with you?
yep. But my feelings weren't hurt. I didn't feel slighted. I didn't feel like that person was being ungrateful. It just I didn't know and I accepted it and it it didn't come across as you didn't know or like, hey, buddy, it was just like, you're so sweet. I really appreciate this. I actually don't drink. So I wouldn't have any use for it or whatever, but I really appreciate the thought.
So what I completely agree with what you just said. I would only add I'd add two things. I would add the thing I just said, which is basically, but it looks like a lovely bottle. I'd hate it to go to waste.
Yeah.
Why don't you take it home with you? Kind of thing. And come on in and then just invite them right in. Come in, sit down, enjoy
Yes.
yourself.
Can I
We've
get you
got
something?
peanut M&Ms, we've got
Yeah,
Reese's
absolutely.
Pieces.
Munchies.
We're all eating out of the same pizza box.
Absolutely. My
Whatever,
sink isn't working, but I'm serving
whatever,
flaming hot Cheetos, but there's no
whatever,
water running.
whatever
Yeah.
you're doing at your party, of course,
Right.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Hostess cakes over there and devil dogs over there, and
What's a devil dog?
you know what a devil dog is?
I've never heard of it.
Come on,
I'm gonna look it up.
I guess it's a whoopie pie, but they're long
Hot
and
dog
they
shaped.
look like hot dogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Devil dog.
I stopped at the Entenmann's outlet store and I was able to get a couple of coffee cakes,
Absolutely.
but there's only one knife, so if you can wipe it off on a napkin before you cut yourself
You
a
better
piece,
get moving before all the Russell
you
Stover
know,
runs out. Yeah.
that kind of, there's a Whitman sampler in the bathroom, that kind of
In
thing.
the bathroom.
And no,
Exactly.
and a cinnamon bun candle from
Yes. Cinnabon.
Yankee Candle Company.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. You go, by the way, feel free. I bought a few bottles of cool water. Just splash that on you at any point if you want. Or CK1. I don't know how you identify.
Davidoff cool water.
Yeah.
In any
One time, a
event,
person at Dillard's when I was a kid, I was
of
like 10 years
course,
old
Dillard's, yeah.
at Dillard's. I was at like the cologne counter just looking while my mom was shopping. And the lady goes, "We just got this in." And she goes, "A lot of people from MTV wear this." And I was like, whoa.
And was it Davidoff cool water?
It was cool water.
Cool water was a fragrance that was in every magazine. Do they still even do that where you can get a sniff in a magazine?
I haven't actually bought a physical magazine in quite a while. I
I
mean, like
bought
the New
two
Yorker, maybe,
magazines
but
the other day.
yeah, did they have perfume? What were
I
the ones
bought
that did? I guess the
I bought
fashion magazines at
all of
Vanity
them.
Fair.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I bought Hello
GQ.
Canada,
Okay, that
which I've
didn't for
yet
sure.
to read because it had a picture on it of a story about Kate's wig and about
Oh,
her
oh yeah,
going
sure, of
blonde.
course.
Because
Yes.
of course they're talking about the royals here, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
And then about a New Yorker. But okay, here's what I want to say before I forget, and then I have something else I want to say before I forget. Um, my only shtetl about this, and it's because I've been dealing with this with someone in another part of my life recently, so I'm sort of my tingles were up about this.
Right. Were you wearing your leathers while your tingles were up?
I was not wearing leather when I tingled.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, you don't want this to become your whole personality.
Right.
So there are people who have something, let's say, special that makes them special or different or whatever. They have a limitation and
Mhm.
they find a way to make every conversation come back to that thing. So what you don't want, and I don't think we're necessarily in danger of that. And again, the biggest question here of all, which somebody's shouting at their computer right now, some sober person or counselors screaming at their computer. Ronna, why don't you ask him how comfortable he is even being around alcohol? Some people can't even be around alcohol.
Well,
There
he's
are,
throwing parties for people who drink. So,
well, but I don't know if he's serving alcohol. They're bringing all the
oh,
alcohol to
true,
his house.
true.
There are some people who don't drink who
Have
throw
a dry
full
party.
parties
Right.
full of alcohol. They never touch it. It doesn't
Mhm.
bother them. It's just something they don't do, but they have for other people.
Right.
Or I have known people who sort of pathologically like to order for other people, but don't drink the booze themselves.
Yes.
I had a very fancy gentleman friend in London who liked to do that. He didn't drink, but he liked to make sure to buy a beautiful bottle and show that he knew, you know,
The newest
what
stuff.
kind of wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't want your whole personality to be, did I mention I don't drink? That's because I don't drink. Did I mention I don't drink? And maybe that's not at all what you're doing. But if that even rings a little bit true for you, just keep an eye on that.
Mm.
The other thing I wanted to not forget to say was my Boston weekend was probably pitch perfect down to me having two of the most perfectly brewed cups of Dunkin' Donuts coffee
Cup of Joe.
and that I've ever had, and four of the freshest munchkins that I've ever had. Not to mention
You know what, though? There
on
is a
my way,
huge difference between a fresh munchkin and one that's been sitting out. There is a huge
it is
difference.
there is a universe betwixt.
Yes.
And on my way out of town, my flight was delayed for 25 minutes, which afforded me the opportunity to explore the brand new Terminal E International Terminal at Boston's Logan Airport, where they
Wow.
have not one but two legal seafoods.
Sure.
And
Did you get the
I
Caesar
went
salad?
and I sat at the bar
Mhm.
and I had a cup of chowder
Yeah.
and I had a Caesar
I
salad
love that salad.
and I had a glass of Sancerre.
Terrific.
And I took two packets of oyster crackers to go.
Are you hilarious?
Incredible.
You're something else.
Should we read the next question?
Hmm.
Okay, here we go. Dear Ron and Bryan, guest, if applicable, and of course, the live audience, uh, which, let's be honest, is always applicable. Yeah, people are always listening.
They are.
I guess they're listening live because they're live, but we're not live. So I hardly need to introduce myself, but indulge me the pleasure, of course. Oh, over the course of 5 episodes of Ask Ronna, I have the distinct honor of being a recurring presence. First, if this is mushroom lasagna, I'll kill myself.
It can't be.
First, there is Free Feed episode 67, in which my 5-star review is read aloud, which was a wonderful birthday present, as well as my necessary. This is giving stalker vibes before I'm even done with it.
Really?
Well, I don't know. This is a lot of, deep diving.
Sure.
And what about Tara Kelly? She came right up in the beginning. Could you believe it? She came all the way from Maine. I
Oh, by
could
the way,
not get over it.
looking so
Incredible.
chic,
Incredible. So chic.
effortless
Effortless. Effortless.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as my necessary grammatical note regarding Mrs. Glickman's use of between you and I, which of course is never correct. Who the F is
No,
this person?
honestly,
Then there is Free Feed episode 261, where I again appear in your reviews segment, this time pointing out Ms. Naomi's rather creative reimagining of the term thesis statement, a concept none of you letter writers have ever once actually
oh my
employed.
God. You honestly are
Why am I
driving
reading
me
this?
crazy.
Why are you still here?
Yeah. I'll
Why
tell
don't
you,
you start the Ask Whoever
you're a
podcast?
tattletale.
Ask Rory. Okay.
Yeah.
The remaining 3 mentions include Free Feed episode 78, where I'm left dangling as a cliffhanger, Patreon 64, where said cliffhanger is revisited, and Patreon episode 65, where you graciously offer some kind words about my late father who passed from
Oh,
COVID.
oh, now I feel terrible.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry about the father, but the
Yes.
rest of this is pure decadence,
It is. It's very,
pure self indulgence.
yep.
This guy may as well be sticking his finger into a tub of fudge and licking it.
It's
while he
very
says
Nellie
this.
Olson. Yeah.
Very, you know, Tom Thumb with his
Yep.
finger in the pie or whatever.
Yep.
For all of these acknowledgments, I remain sincerely grateful. And so let us proceed, not with a thesis statement in italics, but
Honestly,
as we've all now agreed. Actually, we haven't. Someone else wrote in and said that we could use a question as a thesis statement.
that's
Not a
true.
soul writing into this show has ever produced one, but rather with my interrogative premise. How do I stop my closest friends from falling in love with me? Well, my advice would be to have them read anything you've written.
Honestly, just show them this letter and they will immediately, their dicks will go down in unison.
And the other thing you could do is what I suggested, which is just be doing the dishes and say, "Could you take out the trash as soon as you get here?"
Absolutely. Yeah.
That they'd probably take it as, false intimacy.
Hmm.
You may recall the situation that prompted my original cliffhanger. I don't. Sterling. Sterling and I met when my ex boyfriend
Sterling's a nice name.
Easton cheated. Oh, these can't be real names.
Easton's a nice name too.
Easton cheated on me with him. It was a sordid beginning that blossomed eventually into a friendship. But as so often happens, Sterling developed feelings for me. Your advice at the time was succinct and sage. Stop torturing the man. As it turns out, he spared me the trouble, meeting me in Morningside Park in late August of 2022 to inform me he needed space, as he could not remain my friend and also be happy. I respected his choice and now observe his life exclusively through Instagram stories.
Hmm.
And to Anton, a new friend made that summer. As with Sterling, we bonded over a shared disdain for a mutual narcissist. Were you looking in the mirror when you had the conversation? Or just staring at your reflection in a pond, darling?
Yes, honey.
As with Sterling, as with Sterling, I became his closest confidant. I mean, that is already the most problematic sentence that I could come up with, which is that's what this guy is doing. They draw each other in, they have a mutual thing that they're complaining about or that they're swapping around, and then they do what was that experiment that if you stare someone in the eyes for 6 questions and say I love you or something like that like 10 times in a row, then you're in love with them.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
No.
Tony, see if you can find that. There was a psychological experiment about, I think if you make eye contact with the person and like hold hands and then you say like 6 key things, then a person will fall in
Well,
love
it's
with you.
like that expression. I mean, I think many people have said this, but like you can fall in love with anybody, but falling in love with the right person actually takes some work.
Mm.
But because you have to look for the right person, but you could fall in love with almost anybody.
Oh, I couldn't.
Okay.
As with Sterling, I became his closest confidant. And as with Sterling, the inevitable happened. It's only inevitable because you're making it happen. You're giving these people false intimacy. That's what's going on here.
And I wonder if
Or
you,
temporary
and you
intimacy.
probably know, you probably can sense before it happens what's happening. I
It's not,
maybe
there's
not,
no
but
sensing. He is wielding that. This is his power.
mhm.
His inability to be intimate. He is creating a false over intimacy with these people so that then they fall in love with him. He feels valued. And then he feels totally surprised that this has happened.
Yeah,
Why does it happen over and over again? It's a honey trap.
I feel like you must know along the way what's about to happen.
This is a Venus flytrap. On a Venus flytrap, the fly lands, it hits one hair on the plant, it hits 2 hairs on the plant. If it hits the third one, it snaps
Bam.
shut. Okay.
Yeah.
Happened, he fell for me. His frustrations ranged from my unwillingness to hug him as often as he'd prefer, okay, to my daring to kiss someone else in his presence, where he yelled at me outside of a boxes. What's that?
Oh, I don't know.
Asking why would I ever make out with a man like that? Eventually, he admitted his feelings outright. This placed an extraordinary strain on our friendship, and though I exhausted every reasonable effort to remedy it, nothing was ever enough. He always wanted more. The story ends less elegantly. Mm. His psychotic break, induced by heavy meth use, paranoia about gang stalking.
Oh gosh,
What does
what a
that mean?
turn.
And his ultimate betrayal of me despite my being the only one who tried to help. That friendship is over, and I have no desire to resurrect it. Okay, well, I have another question mark here, which may be part of the problem. And I'm not going to put this on our letter writer as much as I was putting the dynamic before, is perhaps these people are fragile.
Yeah, I wonder if you're trying to save people.
Yeah. Now, this Desmond. Last summer, Anton and I met Desmond, who quickly became my close friend and workout partner. Bryan, I don't think I've made a close friend in 25 years. I think you're the last close friend I've made.
I doubt that.
Oh, I think it's true.
I think
Now,
I've made maybe one since you.
this guy's making close friends every 45 seconds,
Yeah. Wow, you're right.
every 45 days.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the story diverges. I initially did want to sleep with Desmond. That was frankly the plan. But one drink turned into another, one hangout into 10, and before I realized it, we'd become friends first. Once I become friends with someone, sex is permanently off the table.
So that's another thing you should look into, by the
Well,
way.
now we go back to front with my issue about intimacy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only sleep with someone who worships me that I can't have a relationship with.
Right. And
I
that I
can
know
oh
nothing about.
yeah, I can only sleep with someone first and become friends later, of course, because as soon as you have the initial charge, if you still like the person, you'll keep them around. But
No, I
there's
understand the
attraction.
concept. I don't think sleeping with someone and then becoming friends with them is unhealthy. It might even be healthy, but I think the notion that you can't be friends with someone and want to sleep with them is something
Th-
worth looking into.
this person wants the titillation of,
A little bit of a non anonymity or
banging
something.
around with somebody. But then the moment it becomes, where'd you go to high school? Then
Right.
the boner goes down,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then it's on to the next chase.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hence making new friends every 12 seconds. But in
Yeah,
any event,
you should pay
investigate.
attention to that. Yeah.
The reverse is impossible. And perhaps predictably, Anton resented the difference between my friendship with Desmond and my relationship with him. Okay. Because he was now attracted to Desmond and not Anton. I explained repeatedly that I am more physically affectionate with men I desire or desired, and that I never desired Anton. He's handsome, yes, but not my type. And yet recently, Desmond confessed feelings of his own. He's married, happily, openly, and admirably. His explorations beyond that marriage are neither new nor scandalous. But I do not and cannot reciprocate. His feelings surface most clearly when martinis are involved, as they so often are. And so here I stand, 32, watching my social circle shrink by circumstance and catastrophe. One friend moved to San Francisco. Two returned to Mexico amid political upheaval, and one lost himself to delusion. Desmond is the last one standing. I don't want to say anything too loud, but you've only known all of these people for like 6 months.
Hmm.
And even this friendship now trembles under the weight of feelings. I stopped inviting 3 weeks after I had initially met him. It's been over 2 years. I do not flirt. I do not seduce. I do not cross lines. I simply show up as a good friend, and still, time and again, they fall for me. I do not, nor cannot do this all over again. It is depressing to end close friendships over something I cannot seem to control. Well, let's pay attention to that. That feels real. I am meeting new people. Bumble is my current social
Didn't
experiment.
know that gay men could be on Bumble.
Neither did I.
Huh.
But I fear repeating the pattern. So tell me, my esteemed panel, how do I stop this from happening? There's no chance this is a woman, is it?
No, I mean, in at the top it says he,
Don't they say they're
him.
a fruit? Yeah.
That's what I was like. Surely that's so strange. I didn't know that Bumble had that.
Is
Okay.
Bumble gay now, Tony? How, not gay, homosexual. What is the word,
No,
Bryan?
gay works.
So
Queer.
tell, None of those are the one I'm looking for.
Hmm.
Man on man.
Is Bumble now man on man?
So tell me, my esteemed panel, how do I stop this from happening?
Show them
Or,
this letter.
or must I confront the far more unsettling possibility that there is something somehow wrong with me? While I have been a devoted Patreon subscriber on and off over the years, my ability to join the carriage house has always depended on my financial reality. Times are lean again at the moment, and I'm not currently a subscriber, but I remain deeply appreciative of the free feed as I have since the podcast's inception. As I assure you, once things improve, Ask Ronna will be the very first subscription I renew. Your Washington Heights fan and Grandma National Socialist, always yours, Rory. So this person's in New York.
Washington Heights, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rory, my irresistible, sweet,
Unforgettable
unforgettable, open to the world pal.
in every way.
I don't know what to tell you, Rory. I do think that you do bear responsibility in this somewhat. Especially because now it's a pattern. So you're asking if I think something's wrong with you. I think something's wrong with that even line of questioning a little bit. I don't know that there's something wrong with you, but I think you're participating in this. In fact, I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but I do think for this to keep happening, you do need to look at yourself and wonder, what am I doing? Am I flirting with these people? Am I leading these people on? Do you really not have any kind of a sense when something crosses the line with someone, when they catch feelings, when I mean, you really don't have any sense of that? Any of these times? That really surprises me. Because I'll tell you this, I'm not saying this about you, but it is nice to receive attention from people. It is nice when people have crushes on you. Those are nice feelings. But if you know there's not a shot in hell, there is a way to shut it down a little by saying, I'm so glad I'm single. I da 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 da, or I just maybe one day I'll meet the right person. There's just no one in my vicinity who I feel that way about. I don't think it's a kind thing to lead people on. And I just have to assume that in some small way you might know you're doing it. It's a lovely thing to be the object of someone's affections. It can feel really, really nice, but it is also impossible to play that game and have a true friendship with somebody. It just is because it's not really that honest. Um, I would also say that I think you are fabulous. I think you are fantastic. I think you are a confident person. And I think
Charming,
charming, all these things. And
handsome, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you deserve to be. But I even think the way you spoke to your friend by saying, well, the reason I'm physical with him is because at one point I was attracted to him and I've never been attracted to you is unkind. Um, I, th- I think that I, th- I think you might be more of a participant in these dynamics than you think. And I
Mm.
don't think you're a bad person. I don't even think you're a narcissist. I just think when something feels good, you want to keep it going. But if you want to have a true friendship with someone, you have to be completely honest. And, especially when you feel something going down a road that you are not going to reciprocate. That really is the kind thing to do.
And maybe it's about sort of reflecting and asking yourself what friendship is. What is friendship? Is friendship just get hanging out? Is friendship gossiping? Is friend, what is, who do you trust with your feelings, and who do you allow, and whose feelings do you take on? Because I'm getting the feeling from you, and truly none of this is a good person, bad person, manipulative, blah blah blah. Really, I mean, we gave you a pretty hard time on the letter, and there are a few red flags, I would say. But I just want to dial back to the fact that you're 32.
Yeah.
And in my book, you may as well be 29. Okay. I mean, we haven't talked about the 29-year-old man for a while. But 32 is another tricky age because you sort of think you're a grown up. But this is really 20s behavior that you are exhibiting right now, which is, and this is, by the way, the perfect time to investigate this in your life. You're not 50 wondering how this happened. And trust me, you don't want to wake up and be 50
Oh,
and wonder how this happened because your life will have a big empty hole at the center of it. But there is something in you that there is a, and by the way, you and how many billion people are on the planet, Bryan? Eight. I mean,
something.
you and like 700, 7.5 other billion people have this problem, which is that you have a fear of intimacy. I don't know what happened to you or didn't happen to you. I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
you for sure at least went through one very traumatic thing of losing your father during COVID. I mean, I'm not saying that all points back to that, but like you have gone through some shit.
Yeah, and I don't remember the details of your other letters. That those are not he. I mean, I remember the one about you meeting the guy who you previously had. Da, 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 da. You know, stranger to a little drama. The letter opens with you telling us that you befriended the guy that your ex boyfriend cheated on you with. Isn't that right?
Uh, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, I think that you either knowingly or unknowingly are creating a false intimacy with these people.
Hmm.
And some people might get a little blurry and call it a boundary. They might, this is a mistaken boundary. You think that you are being a great friend and discussing these person's intimacies with them, but that you have a boundary about what you want from them. And whether you're doing this knowingly or unknowingly, there's like a little bit of vampirism going on here, which is that you want them to, you get very close with these people. You want them to tell you everything. They don't necessarily have the same emotional makeup that you have. Maybe they are more vulnerable, or maybe they're more open, or maybe they're more honest with themselves and their feelings, whatever. Or maybe they're more damaged. I have no idea. They're more something different than you. If this is making any sense. And so they are taking what you are giving them as real. And I think that you are taking it to feel, I think it makes you feel grown up and mature to have these kinds of intimate conversations with people like this. And I think what's really happening is the wires are getting crossed. And so when you behave intimately with people, they believe that you are intimate. And then you are putting the brakes on. So you're sort of getting that charge out of feeling close. And then there is a moment where you put the brakes on the closeness. And that is where the confusion is coming from. You're not obligated to fall in love with every person you've ever slept with or not slept with or met or this or that. That's fine. You don't have to have feelings for any of these people. But there is an inadvertent, I don't want to say you're leading them on, but you're sort of Hansel and Greteling them a little bit.
And
You're
I think
kind
you're
of
you're
laying the path.
probably innocently, but still knowingly flirting. I think you probably are.
Pied Piper.
Maybe a little bit. And I'll tell you this too. I got this advice from an older gay man in my life once, and I think about it all the time.
Always wear aftershave.
Always wear aftershave and a scarf, and
Always have a
always,
spare cravat in your bag because you
always,
never know what's
always
going to,
have a spare
and
cravat,
never sit past row J
and
in the theater.
always, ever, and always have a friend who can get you into brunch at the Palm Beach Country Club. You
Yes,
know,
and always have a pair of loafers with your initials on them.
100%, 100%. And beyond that, um, this older gay gentleman told me when I was probably 32 or something, you really should start investing more than you would think you should in your friendships now. Because here is what can often happen. Men are generally, and I'm talking specifically about no, in general, I'm talking about gay men, but specifically, I'm talking about now just men, period, are
Yeah.
typically less social. If you look at, I could see it in my family, I could see it in other people's families. When you look at your grandfather they don't really have many social friends typically versus maybe your grandmother. Men are just less social, period. You then drive into that the fact that gay men also tend to, a lot of times, isolate a little bit more. They can be social, but the hookup culture is so rampant that a lot of times people are more focused on getting laid than investing in their friendships. And then what happens is you grow older and you don't have that many friends. And straight men typically, and this is maybe a 1990s, early aughts pre gay marriage philosophy, gay men typically do not have the families that straight men have. And I'm talking kids. I'm even talking maybe gay men have been isolated from their from their,
But you're
nuclear
saying
families.
chosen family. Your friends are your family.
Your friends are your family.
Right.
And the problem is, if you don't really nurture and invest in those, you're going to wake up one day and not have any friends. And
Hmm.
you don't want that to happen. You
Or you're
really
not going to be
should.
truly close to anybody.
You should at least be investing in true friendships 60%. And let's say, just to be generous, your hookup culture 40%. At
Yeah.
least.
The funny thing about friends
And I don't want anyone
is
coming after me saying that I don't think gay men can have families. Of course I think that, or that da 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 da
no,
da.
but you're just saying that
It's just different. I'm even talking about men in general. It's just different.
I also think the funny thing about friends is that as you get older, the friends that you gravitate towards are the friends that truly know you and have
Yes,
known you at
exactly.
various phases in your
And
life.
as people get older, it's harder to get to know them. It
And
just
if you
is.
don't hold on to those people or invest in those people, and I'm not saying it's impossible to make new friends when you get
Of
older,
course not.
but it's a lot. And also your friends in some way become the sort of historians and keeper of your life because you say, remember that they were there when so and so passed away.
You don't
They
have
were
to do the
there, you took a
superficial
trip
small talk.
together.
Yes.
That when they say to you, how is your sister? They've met your sister.
And I have to say, Ronna, dinner with you on Friday night felt like that. Do you understand what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
it felt
100%.
like I don't need, I mean, we obviously caught up because we hadn't seen each other in a while, but also like we went deeper than that. We could say to each other, "Oh, how did that thing go?" or "How is your," or "Did you ever talk to?" And like we're there.
The threads that really we caught up on the superficial level
Of
about
course.
where have you been, how's it going, what's
Yeah.
going on with your kitchen, nothing, that
Right.
that sort of thing, and then went to the list of sore spots,
Right.
basically.
Exactly.
How is this going? What did you solve this problem? Have you thought about that?
Yes.
How's this person? How's that person? The stuff that people who care about you ask,
Yes.
and that you don't want strangers to ask you about because it's none of their business. That you feel
Completely.
the people you trust to be vulnerable with.
Mhm.
So you don't need to be, a 65-year-old queen as a 32-year-old,
No,
but you will be 65 someday,
that's right.
and you'll hope that you have someone. All of this comes back to this question of intimacy, and I think that whatever happens, this is your moment. You have written to us, okay? We didn't tap you on the finger, tap you on the shoulder in a bar and say, I overheard your conversation. It seems like maybe you need to work on this. You wrote to us.
Yeah.
So something, the math isn't adding up somehow.
Mhm.
And you're also young enough, by the way, that you haven't had all the life experiences. You don't need to know what this is. This is the moment for you, if you don't already have a therapist, to get into therapy and just figure out what you want and who you want to be. Because obviously, you are, in an admirable way, hungry for friendship and intimacy. Your operating system may just be a little bit broke about how to do that.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like you have these stop gates. Like you said, I would never sleep with someone who I am friends with. I would only sleep with someone and then become friends, whatever these rules are. And it's sort of funny because the only way that you can really be in a long term relationship with someone, if that's something you want, I don't care if it is,
Yeah.
but the only
Look
way
at
to
Harry
be
and
in a
Sally.
successful long term relationship with someone is to be friends with them
Mhm.
on some level.
That's right.
and to, you know, God willing, still want to jump their bones once or twice a year.
It shouldn't kill your
You know,
attraction to someone when you get to know them. That really
it should
that
deepen it.
yeah.
Or getting to know someone should make you attracted to someone.
Yeah.
I'm not, look, spark, of course, there needs to be spark.
Yeah.
And you're 32. I don't care how many people you grab
Do them
and
all.
do it all. But you will, if you want to have a long-term relationship at some point, you start doing this work now because it will not bear fruit for another 5 years.
Mhm.
If you would like to be in a relationship by the time you're 40, start exploring what this is about now.
Yep. That's
Long
right.
answer.
That's right. It's true, Rana. But you know what? It was nice. Those were good answers.
This spook.
And it was honestly, I got to tell you, Rory, it was a good question because I think actually more people than you'd think have intimacy issues, as Rana said. I mean, hundreds of millions of them do. So billions of them do. So even though we were ribbing you a little bit about how, your letter did sound a bit narcissistic and things like that, I think it's a good question in general.
I think I think a lot of people, it actually goes, that answer applies to both sides of the question. Because I think there's a lot of people who say, I don't know what happened. We've gotten these letters all the time. We're great friends and we do everything together. What about the guy who told his friend he was attracted to him? Remember that? They
Of
were
course I
best
do.
friends and hanging out all the time. Was that the guy that went to get the warmed up pot of chili, the cold chili from the
I
yoga
can't
studio?
even talk about that. It's so disgusting.
But we've had all kinds of questions that are the yin to this yang, which is we
Yeah.
have everything in common. How come it's not clicking? And then I told my feelings and I bared my soul and I feel humiliated now. And how do I recover? And all it is puzzle pieces. That's all it is.
Yeah. Picture pages.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're just not quite lining up at this age. But do your work to smooth out those edges and then you'll find your puzzle piece.
Yeah. Also, I would say anything you can do to make yourself more unattractive when you're hanging out with your friends. You
Oh
stop wearing
God, yeah,
deodorant, you smoke,
definitely. Definitely.
anything like that.
Yeah, wear a loose t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh the
Absolutely.
spooky key is at the end of this month.
No way, Jose.
Wait till you see these bottles. I mean, it's too late for
The
people to sign
spooky
up,
key is
so I can say
our time,
whatever
baby.
I want. But wait till you see these bottles. The label is so gorgeous on these
Oh, I can't
bottles.
wait.
Connor outdid himself this time. The spooky keys at the end of the month. I think we'll be seeing some of our private clients there, probably some of
I
our,
would imagine.
gold circle private clients.
Absolutely. Our
And
benefactors.
you can always join for the next one, which I don't know. I think that the winter box December. That feels soon. I think but I think holiday and a social club meet on December 31st.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We usually
Meaning,
do something around New Year. Yeah.
meaning you could buy the one off. You can first of all, you can always buy a one off box and join us one time if you want, or join us, recurring.
Yeah.
But I believe the whatever we end up doing for the holidays, that will also be the winter box. But could be wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, and again, just a heartfelt thank you to everyone at the Huntington. The staff was beyond professional and incredible. A
Hmm.
big, big hug and a kiss to Kevin, who was wonderful to us. Uh,
Fabulous.
and to everyone that came out, people traveled from all over. I didn't even see Kate Steinberg, did you?
No, I saw a picture of
I
her.
know she was
She
there,
was there.
but you didn't speak to her.
I didn't see her
Your
after.
birthday twin?
I love Kate. I do. She lights up my
She
life.
came all that way and she was so cute and she did a story about Boston and
Yeah, she did a
everything.
whole like my time in
Yeah.
Boston
A
kind of thing.
real.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an absolutely glorious weekend. Cynthia Dupree Sweeney came from New York.
That was something.
Yeah, she's something else. James Bundy, the dean of the Geffen School of Drama at Yale University, was there, pardon me.
Beyond.
We had people from Providence. We had people from San Diego. We had people
Hmm.
from
People
Portland. I
from
mean,
Texas.
who came from Texas?
Me.
Oh, I didn't mean where you were born.
Oh.
Dope. All right, darling.
Rana,
Yeah.
you're acting like the show's over. We have not picked a winner and we have not read the cliffhanger.
Oh, I was done.
We have so much more work to do.
Oh no, we got to get out of here because I can't do this all day.
Okay, so what do we want to give? Who do we want to give?
So it's Everybody's in Love with Me, or what was the other one?
The other one was God, good. I always forget. How do I always forget? Oh, the host gift.
Oh, the guy who doesn't drink, but, is feeling a little self conscious about saying to people, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. What a gorgeous bottle. I actually don't drink anymore. Take it home. I don't want it to go to waste."
What do you think? I don't know. I could go either way on this one. I don't really know that either of them deserves it.
My God. Is anyone suffering here?
I would honestly, frankly, think that Rory is actually suffering a little bit more, even though I don't think he thinks he is.
But Rory, it's just, I mean, first of all, he's got about 19 pieces of advice from us in the
That's true. Should we
past.
give it
But
to
the
our
other guy
dear?
came to the
He
show the
came to
other
the
night.
show. We got to give something to him.
Okay, here's what he's going to get.
Yeah, I have an idea,
Okay, go ahead.
but it sounds like you did too.
I did, but I want to hear what
What's
you have to
yours?
say.
I want to hear yours.
He's going to get some Santa Maria Novella potpourri.
Ronna, I was literally about to say the tablets. Yes, from Santa Maria Novella. That was literally
No.
what I was about to say because I
He's
think
going to
it's a
get some
perfect host gift.
potpourri and it goes in a little bowl in his house and he can and it's just nice that your house smells beautiful when you have people over.
I love this.
And I don't want him to feel discouraged from having people over just because he's, non-alcoholic. He should still
No,
host his brains out, but people don't have to get blotto at his place.
no, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, darling.
All right, darling.
Great show. Oh,
Oh my
cliffhanger.
God, we have to
Okay,
read the cliffhanger.
gosh, read it
Jeez
quickly as a
Louise.
person could read it.
Okay, here we go. Let me scroll back down to it. Dear Ronna and Bryan, this is literally a parking lot email. Even worse, I dictated it through voice to text.
Oh boy,
I've been mulling over whether or not
that
to
is
ask you.
worse.
Yeah. I've been mulling over whether or not to ask you this question, and at the last minute decided I just have to. I love you both. Bryan, I listened to the very first Throwing Shade when it came out and have seen you and Aaron live multiple times. The Real Housewives of South Boston is my favorite show. Thank you for gathering us together here in Boston. Not really on Insta, but I do follow you there. Oh, by the way, I would also like to say I have one more LA show coming November 3rd if you missed it at the Elysian. Go to
Oh,
bryanstuffy.com or the link in my bio. By popular demand, Rana. Doing one more November 3rd
it
in LA.
certainly is by popular demand.
Yes. So come see it. Okay. Thesis. My mother has stopped washing her hands with soap.
Oh,
What should I do? Background. I'm the oldest of four children in it's so funny that this is a parking lot email.
oh,
Do you know what I mean?
yes, yes. Well, it's like it hasn't been, you know, eating at you.
You had to get
Yeah,
this off
but
your
there
chest
had to have been an
immediately.
incident. Yeah, there had to have been an incident. Yeah.
My mother stopped washing her hands with soap. What should I do? Background. I'm the oldest of four children in my late 30s. I live here in the Boston area. I
Okay.
grew up in a town called Dover.
Okay.
My mom is a tight knit group of friends. Most of them are lovely, thoughtful, kind, and philanthropic people. A few of these women have been good friends to her. However, their beliefs about other humans and their politics are so concerning. I really do not understand how my mom's friends with them. One friend, let's call her Janique. Yeah, let's do it. Has been a Steve Bannon and Trump enthusiast since the beginning. I wonder if she takes their face care routine tips. Every morning, she harvests greens from the gardens of her palatial estate, listens to Steve Bannon, watches Fox News. I used to live in New York City. When I
What a
come home,
beautiful
it's
life.
no kidding. When I come home,
Yeah.
all that beauty, and then you're listening to that man.
Yeah.
Why? When I would come home and see Janique at social gatherings, she would express her shock that I would live in a quote socialist city. Girl, you're from Massachusetts.
Hmm.
I'm talking to Janique here, and questioned how someone could live in a place so dangerous. I also felt very safe in New York. I always felt very safe in New York. I don't feel safe around her. A few years ago, she visited Chicago and took a private car to a show or something. Why are we talking about Janique?
I have no idea. This is parking lot.
Someone she perceived as threatening walked in front of her car. The retelling of the story is that the person tried to kill her. I'm not sure what reality Janique is living in.
I'm not
And
sure what reality you're living
you're
in.
living in,
Yeah.
and how my mom could spend time with someone who spews this kind of hateful nonsense. Forget it being dangerous, which it is. It's also annoying.
Okay.
Another one of her friends, let's call her Diane, has a husband who did very well in the medical devices industry.
Good for him.
What did he invent? The MRI? He
No, but
spent
he
a,
had a patent on something
right.
they need. Yeah.
He spent a
Bob,
lot
yeah,
of,
Bob had a little, yeah,
oh, did he?
yeah. Well, Bob had a clamp.
I'm sure he did, Rana.
Yeah, yeah,
He spent a lot of time in operating rooms selling to surgeons.
yeah.
These two are rabid anti vaxxers and also brag about how much her children love fossil fuels. By the way, I'm dying to have dinner with Diane and Janique,
All of them. Yeah.
every single person. That I find very confusing, and I'm not sure what her children actually believe. Is it because I took advantage of the state's 0% interest loans to get solar panels and heat pumps?
Congratulations.
Even though these two women are some of my mom's closest friends, she does not hold their beliefs on a macro level. Thank God. She gets her vaccines right away. She hates Trump. She hates Putin. She has always been my gay sister's number one champion. She goes above and beyond to support my best friend's transgender daughter. About 10 years ago, a different sister attended a prestigious military academy for college and was pulled into a far right Christian cult. I'm so impressed with how my mom encouraged her to pull on the threads. My sister was donating a significant amount of money to this organization and started calling some of the women leaders mama.
My God.
It was fucking, sorry, Rana, weird. She was donating a fair amount of money to this organization, traveling with them and attending daily Bible studies. My mom did not let it go. She encouraged her to ask questions, look at the books before making any major donations. It took years, but eventually my sister joined a different church and broke up with an emotionally abusive fiance. I'm so grateful for my mom. What does this have to do with soap?
I'm getting so angry, Brian.
One thing she does listen to, Janique and Diane on, though, is weird off the wall healthcare related hacks and agrees with their
Mm.
mistrust of doctors.
Oh,
They
God.
inhale grapeseed oil up their noses. By the way, that's all apparently bullshit before going on
Ugh.
planes and then line their nostrils with Neosporin.
Well,
They give
I don't mind the Neosporin, but the grapeseed oil's strange.
they give anecdotal evidence for how when they do these things, they don't get sick, but their traveling partners do. My mom takes weird supplements recommended by Janique, but generally, this has never bothered me. I was just grateful she wasn't in weird corners of the internet and that she was getting her vaccines. A few years ago, she started going off on tangents about how her great aunt was the head of epidemiology at Newton Wellesley. Not sure if that's true. My mom says this aunt, who passed away in 92, said that people use too much soap and that hands don't need to be washed with soap. Water is just fine. This is turning into, we are living, Rana, in like not even the late 19th century, but the mid.
I honestly thought it
This is
said,
nuts.
I thought it said 1922, not 1992. But
Yeah.
anyway, go on.
I wonder if she's conflating this with the concern around using too much antibacterial soap.
Yeah, remember when Dial did an antibacterial and there
Of
was a
course.
backlash? Yeah.
Yes. About a year ago, I started to push my mom more in this. Does she not use soap to wash your hands at all? Nope. And I clarified, does she use soap after she goes number two? The answer she gave, well, if I get something on my hands, of course. Well, if I get something on my hands, of course. But generally, there's no
We
need.
started this show
I can't
on
believe
such a
the
high this
dregs that
episode,
we've been dragged into.
and now we are literally in the toilet.
I actually feel sick to
We're
my
in the
stomach.
sewer.
I have trouble eating food my mom has prepared. About 6 months ago, my mom got a case of pink eye.
Ugh,
She claimed it was from the manure in the garden. Well, yeah, wash your hands after handling manure.
probably was. Yeah.
So, what should I do? Should I just mind my own business? It's hard to see this misinformation so close to home. I don't work in the medical industry, but from what I understand, hand washing was pretty revolutionary and it works. Yes, and yes.
Mm.
I feel like you two are the only ones who can help me. I haven't even told my husband. I feel like I
I don't
can't
think
talk
we
to
can help
anybody
you. I
about
don't
it.
think we can help you. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid they won't be able to look at my mom the same way again.
Oh
Reflecting on
no.
what I've written, the most problematic characters in this story are the rich, bored, dangerous friends. I'm not quite sure what to do about them either, but if you have any thoughts on how I can get my mom to wash her hands with soap, I would love them. Thank you, love you, Anonymous. Jesus. God damn it. Fuck. Well,
It was only signed by Anonymous, not all those other people.
no.
Shit.
To get
God
the
damn
answer,
it. Get up.
yes. Saying that, you should sing
Get
that to
off
your
your
mother.
ass and jam it.
Yep.
You motherfucking titty sucking prostitute, you tutti fruit. That's all. That's it. I'm sick and tired of your
Your
shit.
shit. Sing that to your mom's friends. You can go to patreon.com/askrana.
We don't have an answer to this, so I probably wouldn't go to patreon.com/AskRonna, but we'll be there.
We'll
You want
be
to hear what we
there.
have to say? Yeah, we'll be there. All right. Kiss, kiss.
I'm catatonic. Kiss, kiss.
Blech.